What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about the Hubitat dashboard. This is not the native Hubitat dashboard. This is a dashboard by a company called JP Software or Joe Page Software. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at the Hubitat dashboard app from JP Software. I've been daily driving this app. I've had it on my phone now for a while, but I couldn't figure out how to get the app to connect to the Hubitat elevation. So I've been daily driving it, and today I'm going to try to answer a few questions. Can this replace your Hubitat app? What's the user experience like with the JP app? Does everything transfer over? And would I recommend this as a daily driver? Let's start off with the Hubitat app. This is the native app. I think most would say that the Hubitat app is pretty outdated. It's in dire need of a facelift. It doesn't work as well. I'm not gonna say it doesn't work as well. It takes a little time to process things. But if you look at the Google Play rating, Hubitat app is currently at a 3.2 from the users. And some of the things that the users are saying is that the app is really outdated. The app is a piece of garbage. It's not getting very good reviews. So on the flip side, the JP Software app is like at a 4.3. So that's an entire point above, what the Hubitat experience is like. So, when you look at the UI itself, I would say that you can't really tell the difference. It would take a little more energy probably to get the native Hubitat app to look like the actual JP app, but it can be done. So, I would also say that, let's take a look at Hubitat as a whole. I think a couple months ago, maybe about a year ago, they were struggling before the C7 hub came out. They were struggling a little bit. So, you couldn't find the Hubitat hub anywhere. So I was a little nervous because I didn't know if the company was going to go under. That's one thing about smart homes. Sometimes these companies, they don't last a long time. So I didn't know if the company was going to fold or what the deal was. But I think Hubitat as a whole, the company kind of, they focus on automation. They didn't really focus on the user experience per se. So when I say automation, I mean, I think Hubitat is built around the fact that set it and forget it. And that's what I love about it, because you can set your automations, you can get everything set up and ready to go. The hub is solid, it works. You don't really need that user interface, so to speak. I think the company is kind of changing a little bit. They're offering some subscription-based things where you can get to the hub outside of your local network. But they never really had the great UI or anything like that. So you hear comments like for the JP Software app, you hear stuff like this is a great app. It's 10 times better than the Hubitat app, and I don't know if it's because of when you look at the actual JP app, it's like the colors are like vibrant. When you look at the Hubitat elevation, you got brown, green, and black. It's kind of like it's like, come on, man. So I think if they updated the UI itself, even with a different color, blue is seen to be the thing that everybody's popping off with blue. Blue it kind of brightens you up a little bit, makes you feel a little bit better. So I think people kind of beat up on the Hubitat app a little bit like that. So, but let's talk about connecting. I've had that JP Software app on my phone for probably about a year, and I could not get this freaking thing to connect to my hub. Well, I said, you know what? I'm gonna try to get this thing up and running. I'm gonna try to do my best, see if I can get it right. Could not get it. Looked at all the remarks and everything. What I didn't pay a close attention to one particular thing, and that was that the app on your phone will not connect to your hub if you have the security enabled. Like I have a password. If you have that password enabled on your hub, it won't connect. So what you have to do is you have to go in and then you have to temporarily disable that feature on the hub security piece. Once you disable that, then you go in and you install the Maker API, and then you go back to your smartphone and you can go ahead and connect to the hub. It'll find the hub then. It has to be on the same network. It will find the hub, and once it finds the hub, then you should be good to go. Uh-oh, notes are sticking here. Once it finds the hub, you should be good to go. And then you can go back in and set up your security. That way, it'll still work once it's all set up. So it'll go off of a token, and the token will let it comes in. Does everything transfer over? Yes and no. Let me get my notes right, guys. I would say JP has made it extremely easy for you to transfer things over to their app. Meaning, when you go into the Maker IP, what you do, you go in, and if you use Hubitat, then you would know that you just go in and you click it, and then you just go back and just check the blocks of the devices that you want to be monitored on the actual app. And the Maker IP app is no different. You go in, you check the little blocks, and then everything transfers over to the actual app. So what I did, I went in and, like I said, I had my dining room. So I checked everything that was in my dining room, and then I went over to my app, and when I updated it, everything showed up in the app, and then I could create that room in the app, and then I was good to go. So I did that for every room, and that's how I got everything transferred over to the actual phone and using it. I would say that the app is a lot more responsive than the native Hubitat app. And that's kind of crazy to me, because you take a third-party app and it can get into your hub and do things on your hub quicker than you can natively for your hub. Hubitat, get it together. I mean, it should be faster on your hub than it is on a third-party app. So some things to think about. One thing I will say about another thing is that the JP app, the Hubitat dashboard, JP software, it makes it easy for you to monitor your batteries. If you don't have it where you can monitor your batteries in like a dashboard or whatever, you have to create that particular dashboard in Hubitat, in the actual native app. But if not, then as you add devices to the JP software app, he has a way of just like, if you say add a battery thing, a battery tile, it'll add a battery tile, and then what'll happen is every device that you add that has a battery, it'll put it on that tile. I love that because once you get up to like 10, 15, 20, 30 items that's running off of batteries, you really have to like buckle down and say every 6 months or every 4 months or however you're gonna do it. You actually say you have to actually get in there and say, I'm gonna change these batteries out. Like, I'm waiting on batteries to come now. So, I have like 50 items I gotta update the batteries on, because your automations will break and you won't realize that why this automation is not working. And then you check your battery and your battery is not up to date. So I like that. The logs, one click. Any device that you have, you can one click, boom, your logs will pop up directly from the app. I love that. That's awesome. So, I mean, you can still do that in Hubitat Elevation, but you just have to jump through a little hoops to get it to work. So understand that with the JP app, you can click a button and then logs automatically pop up for that device. One thing that I would say is that if you transfer, like, say you transfer light bulbs over, understand that if it says something in the Hubitat app, it may be different in the JP app. So if it's a bulb, it needs to be a bulb. It doesn't need to be a switch. So if you, like, I got, wall sconce, so if it says wall sconce, then that's a switch for me, even though it's a bug. So you need to understand what you have and what driver it needs to be on. I had a couple problems with that, so I had to switch devices over and make them bulbs and make them switches, so whatever container they belong in, they need to be in the proper container. Sonos, I don't know why Sonos is not working on the app. JP, if you're listening, if you're watching this video, hit your boy up, let me know how to get Sonos working. It does come over as a music device, but I find that Sonos update their app so much that it is crazy. But for JP to have that, it's like a musical device, it's like a speaker, you can turn it up and down. Even in Hubitat, the Sonos app it's not very good. So I've never had, even in smart things, you can turn it on and off, but you can't do very much with the Sonos pieces. So that's just something that I found across all the apps. The only device that it really works on, only app that works is the native Sonos app. It works fine. Other than that, you can turn it up, but you can't change the songs. You can't do anything with it. It's freaking app's useless. One bug that I did run into with the software was if I created like a folder is like their equivalent to the dashboards in Hubitat, their native app. So if I created a folder on the JP app and I put dividers, or I separated, like say I had lights, sensors, I divided it up into different sections. And if I did that, what happened was sometimes the labels that I put on those section dividers would actually go over to another folder. So when you get that everything set up and running, make sure you check that, and like they're not bleeding over. Like I had like my wall sconce under my whole house fan. I'm like, dude, I didn't put that there. So some things to think about. Can you replace the native Hubitat app with this app? I'm test driving it, and I would say that right now I'm not transferring. I'm not making this app my daily driver yet. Do I think it's going to replace the Hubitat app? I would probably always maintain my Hubitat app. But I'm not going to make this my daily driver. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to test both apps. I've only been testing this about a week or two. So once I'll continue to test it. I'll run them both side by side, and then I'll see from there whether I want to transfer everything over and make this my native app or not. But I won't delete the Hubitat dashboards out of my Hubitat hub. That won't be. I won't do that. I'll maintain them, and then I use those as backups. So that's my take on that. I really like that. The experience is great. One thing that I do when I get home, I unlock my door and stuff before I walk into the house, and I do all that from my car. Turn my alarm off, turn my alarm on, and it's been pretty responsive. The app's been extremely responsive. It's quick. So that's one thing that I look for. If I'm asking the app to do something and it's constantly spinning, then it doesn't give me a very good experience. So I wouldn't recommend it. But as a whole, guys, the app it seems to be solid. So far, so good. You can adjust the tiles. When you look at the display, like I say, both apps, the display is about the same. I think JP is a little bit better when it comes to how you can adjust the tiles, but they don't have like a native, like I can't go to like one folder and adjust the tiles in that folder. It's like a global, a global adjustment. So if I made the tile smaller, it's going to adjust the tiles everywhere. So JP, if you can fix that, that'd be great. That's probably the only issue that I had with the app. Let me think here. I think that's about it. So, but the app is pretty solid. So if you can't get it to connect, do the security thing, install the maker IP, and then go from there. Other than that, it works fine. But until when I could not have gotten that app to work, it just sat on my phone. I didn't use it at all, and I don't know what made me, start tinkering with it. But I got into it, and I figured it out, and I fell in love with it. The user experience is a lot better. I was actually at Wendy's and I asked the female, I said, which one of these apps would you use? This. And they immediately went to the JP Software app. So the user experience, she said that I would think that the user experience for this app would be better. Both apps had the exact same thing on them. One was just in bright colors and appeared to be, user friendly. So something to think about, Hubitat. So update your user experience, your app, so that you get a better user experience. Not everybody wants to set it and forget it. Some people like to tinker with their phones. I'm not that guy. I don't tinker with the app that much. The only thing I do with the app is, like I say, when I come home, I turn my alarm off from my car, and I make sure my wife, that she would turn the alarm off, or she would open the door. That way, when she got out of the car, she went straight to the house, and we didn't have any issues, nobody trying to mug or anything like that, or any kind of safety issues or something like that. So, but that's all I have, guys. If you like this kind of content, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. And if you have anything you want to add, just leave it down in the comment section. Both apps are solid. It's just which one you prefer. I prefer, right now, I'm leaning towards making the JP Software my daily driver. But I have not yet. I'm still kicking the tires on it, and I'll let you guys know. So that's all I have, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good day now. Bye.